up? What's poppin'? Gagga greetings. Yep. Yep. Hold on. This ain't work right here. I've been listening to this beat for like the past 20 minutes. This beat is fire. What up? Gagga greetings, everybody. Peace and love. Peace to the gods. Peace to the gods on earth. It's my brother Solar. What up? What up? What up? Yo, it be the drugs, murder, crime and disease, food, the medicine, school and TV. All that lower self shit just let me be. Yeah, I just wanna be free from the drugs, murder, crime and disease, food with the medicine, school. Hey yo, everything that God made like it's supposed to be. We the only beings paying for our groceries. Clothes, the food, and the water's owed to me. Hey yo, my birthright was stole from me. They got us programmed straight out the ovaries. In the spiritual war, I'm like a soldier beat. Got my kundalini up like a cobra beat. Yeah, come talk to me like Jodeci and get your mind blown. Blow, brain on a whole nother time zone. Wow, still sharp and still like the grindstone. Infinity to infinite, I'm Bennett, but I ain't in it. And I'm right here, ain't changed from the beginning. Church say I'm sinning, but they the ones who getting all their money from their women and children. Running a scheme, they selling a dream. All my people got vacant esteem. Yo, it be the drugs, murder, crime, disease, food, medicine, school, and TV. All that lower self shit just let me be. Yeah, I just wanna be free from the drugs, murder, crime, and disease, food, the medicine, school, and TV. All that lower self shit just let me be. Yeah, I just wanna be free. Huh? Yo, just let me be. Yeah, I just wanna be free from the drugs, murder, crime and disease, food with the medicine, school, the TV. All that lower self shit just let me be. Yeah, I just wanna be free. Huh? I just wanna be me. Yeah, I just... Yo, this shit about to go up. This shit about to go up. This shit about to go up. I ain't even playing. Yo, they got us trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. The whole time, yo, $1 bill ain't shit but a nickel. 100 bill is triple. The whole world surviving off the melanated nipple. And we really God, supreme. My queen got me right back on my dean. Me and the law can't nothing get between. I won't fall in love with no black feet ratchet. Shorty fine, but she eating swine, I'ma pass it. I'm that 7 in between the alkaline and acid. Your body like a car going too hard, you'll crash it. Whew. Make it plain, niggas insane. Yo, what up? Gagga greetings. Oh man, I had to get that off. I feel better now. You know what I'm saying? I feel better now. What up? Peace and love, peace to the gods on earth. Shout out to everybody in the room. You know what I'm saying? I see we got my brother Solar in here. Got my brother Duncan in here. We got a couple goddesses in here. Listen, respect to everybody that's in here. We about to do super mathematics. This is part 1. We just going to give you the base coat right now. I have my brother Duncan who's going to build with me to help me keep me grounded, because sometimes I go and I'll miss like shit I want to talk about. And he might got questions. Y'all in the comments might got questions. I don't be reading my comments all the time, so you know my brother Duncan gonna help me out with that. Let me see if I can bring him in real quick, and we're gonna have this Gagutical build real quick. This shit is gonna be crazy. This is just part 1. Like, I'm really only gonna scratch the surface. There's so much in here. I don't think we could cover it in just one live. Even if we go live again, it's still a lot that's got to be covered. Yo, what up? Peace of the gods. What's going on?
Peace and love, everybody.
That's what's up, man. Yo, I'm glad you could join me for this build real quick, because I just want your help, because you might got some feedback for me, and you might can help me out with the comments that's going on in the comment section. If anybody got any questions or anything to add or take away, whatever, you know, we could all grow together and we could all learn together. We're privileged to be in contact with the greatest mathematician on earth right now, Professor Gabriel Oyibo, who, by the way, shares genes with all of us. You see what I'm saying? So when we understand that there's no separation, we got to understand that everything that has been demonstrated by this extension of us is also possible with us. We can achieve this because we share genes, we share coding. You know what I'm saying? We share coding, we share intelligence. You see what I mean? So this is our information. This information right here is ours. And we about to spill up. We about to really go in real quick. And is there anything you want to put out there real quick? Anything you want me to touch on, or anything you want to add real quick just to this introduction before we get rolling?
Absolutely, man. We were building a little bit off camera or off live. We're on camera. And we were talking about math and how math is the language of God. See what I'm saying? And how the words we use hold frequency, as does everything. And so when you see how things are spelt, the first couple letters of the first couple letters of certain words show you that it needs to be, something taken serious. Like the G, God has G, geography, geometry, you know what I mean? And gravity. These things are like these words hold frequencies. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it's really important that we understand that, and that math, numbers, are the language of God, because everything is potential energy and kinetic energy, but everything truly is just potential energy.
And everything grows in the measurement. Everything grows in the measurement. Like your fingers, these little sections, these phalanges are a measurement. Why do you think everybody's index finger is this much shorter than the middle finger, and then the ring finger? Everything grows in a measurement. The waves crash the shore in a measurement. That's a measurement. They call that the golden mean, or the fingerprint of God. This same measurement are ancient selves, our past selves, our ancestors actually built, encrypting this measurement into structures, into artwork, into every facet of life. And through our DNA, through our inherited epigenetics, they have passed those traits down to us. We see this because anytime you go to the ghetto, to an area with populated with heavily melanated beings, you see written on the walls these ghetto hieroglyphics. There's graffiti. These are ghetto hieroglyphics.
Graffiti.
Yeah, these are glyphs. Graffiti. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I went over this on another live about how the hieroglyphics break down from hieroglyphic to hieratic and to demotic, and how people write graffiti do the same exact thing. You got your screen open. Can you pull up an image of hieroglyphic, hieratic, and demotic? Because it's 3 different translations that they date from the first golden age, the early period. And it's more after that we get into Coptic and we get into Phoenician. I study languages too. Like, I like to speak multiple languages. For anybody who really talk to me all the time, I speak a lot of languages.
You said hieroglyphics, hieratic. How you spell hieratic?
Hieratic. HIERATIC.
I got it.
You got it? Hieratic and demotic. And show us an illustration of that real quick.
Yeah, I got you. Just so if anybody doesn't know what this is. So we got hieroglyphic right here. Okay, you can see how detailed it is and how much time and energy they put into it. Then we have hieroglyphic bookhand. Could you go into that? What that means? Is that just like a little bit less detailed, or what does that mean?
It's very similar. Like you can see it. It kind of speaks for itself. It's
Yeah.
very similar,
Yeah.
but it's still embossed. It's kind of bold and embossed.
Yeah.
And then as we go further, you can
You
see
got
the
hieratic.
same letter in hieratic is a bit more embellished.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit more embellished. Then when you get all the way to the end to demotic, it's
Yeah.
very much more embellished.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what you're talking about. That's what you see in graffiti. You'll have people who do the bold letters, the really, really detailed ones. And
I'm gonna show you an example right here because I used to write graffiti.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they used to my shit. This is not my graffiti name because I done wrote on a lot of people's shit. This what made me stop writing graffiti because I start buying my own properties and I'm like, damn, niggas writing on niggas' houses now. That was me. So
Yeah,
here
don't
we
do
go.
that.
So at the top, like say if you were writing cat, that was your graffiti name. This would be the hieroglyphic way that you write your name. It's bold, embossed. Then this will be the hieratic, the book hand. It's print. Then under that, they got what's called the wicked. And it's the same exact word, but it's
Yeah.
greatly more embellished. This will be the demotic. So there's people out there writing on people's walls right now and don't realize that this is coming straight out of their DNA. This is our inherited epigenetics.
Right.
You
And
know,
I just wanted to show what epigenetics means because there's definitely somebody out there who's watching this who doesn't know what that is.
Go in.
Someone out there doesn't know what this is. So very simply, what epigenetics is in biology is it's the study of changes in organisms caused by modifications of gene expression rather than alteration of the genetic code itself. Okay? So what this means is that you have your genetic code, right? You have your polymorphisms, you have your intelligent strands of DNA. Okay? But through your environment, which is you know, you got the people around you because we use people for energy. Everything around you is an exchange of energy. You're exchanging energies with everything. So you actually become what you're around. So it's affecting your actual cells in your body, which is in the nucleus of the cell is the DNA, right? So everything's affecting the cells in your body, which is because it's affecting you, right? And you're made up of the cells and they're affecting the cells. So it's affecting the DNA, right? And the DNA, the expression of it is being altered depending on your food, the people around you, and people are food too, and it's like whatever you exchange energies with, because you become what you're around. You know what I mean? And it changes the actual expression of it, which is the expression of you. You know what I mean? And how you express yourself. You see what I'm saying?
And Lord Eligio, Chief calls that peopletarians.
Yeah.
You know, in carbonation, we call that peopletarianism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's sort of like the epigenetics of nutrition. You know what I'm saying? The people who are you around. And it goes from what's in your body, the people that you're around, and the neighborhood that you're in. Then the neighborhood to the city, then the city to the state, then the state to the country, and then being outside of the tropics. Well, we getting too far. But being out, you already know, being outside of the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn puts you at a different vibration. It puts you at a different position from the sun. And we're going to get into that too.
But furthermore, yes, those are laid lines, right? Or those are lines. That's an EMF. When you enter the tropics, you enter an electromagnetic field, right?
Absolutely.
Of energy, and you're absorbing that energy, right? But if you were to go to actually Africa, that's a completely different like frequency of land. If you know what I'm saying. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, you're in the tropics, right? Yeah, you're in the Tropic of Cancer, in the Tropic of Capricorn, by the equator, but you're not in Africa where all this stuff took place. You know what I mean?
And even when excuse me, and even when you talk about the origin, you got to understand they took that show on the road. And when they took that show on the road, they still stayed in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. Like they understood epigenetics. They understood inherited epigenetics. They understood biology. They understood astrology. They understood quantum physics. the 5 sciences are something that we inherited. This is our birthright. Like, and the problem is, we've been complacent with being given our culture, you know, because culture dictates how you learn, how you govern your life, how you interact in relationships with the male and female, with the family, with the children. Culture dictates how you relate. Culture dictates how you learn, how you teach. So we've been accepting this manufactured, genetically modified culture that came straight out of struggle and drugs and the projects and all of this bullshit. So we don't understand that the first relationships, first successful relationships, pertain to how a black man and black woman relate to each other. That these relationships come from this tribal feeling of each one reach many. You know, they have a saying, it takes a village to raise a child. You understand that? Because they understood that. And it used to be like that. It used to be like that just a little bit, because I remember I logged in 81. So like, I got a different reality, understanding of reality than a lot of people who just logged in, you know, not too long ago. And, you know, I remember when somebody saw you out of pocket, they will whoop your ass and then tell your mother that they whooped your ass and then take you home. That type of shit don't happen no more, because we don't have that concept of a village raising a child. We don't have that concept anymore.
Right.
It's now so individualistic. Oh, this is me and mine. Like, we look at people like they're possessions and not complementary energies. Like, these children are our children. These women are our women. The men are our men. Like, we belong to each other. We literally belong to each other. And until we really take initiative, we're going to just be used to having somebody else hand down culture to us and tell us how we ought to relate to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? This comes from culture. And then when we go into ancient culture, the greatest civilizations to ever live, they are the ones who instilled in us ma'at, balance.
Right. No, on that.
Principle.
Now, where did that come from? What
Ma'at.
culture is that?
Thank you very much. Ma'at. So now we're going back thousands and thousands and thousands, and really it go back further than that, because we have the oldest inheritance on the planet. You know what I'm saying? And this culture that was rich in mathematics and science were some of the longest living, some of the most healthiest people on the planet. They had knowledge of self.
Yeah, they have the oldest medical books in history.
Absolutely.
The first medical books in history.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's the origin. The O.
Absolutely.
G-I-J, comma, J equals 0. O. The origin. The word. The word. The way.
They call it ground zero. They call it ground zero.
Yes.
Zero. Yeah.
This is why I say that when you speak, this is, remember we were building, I was saying how we need to start speaking in the African accent, because of the frequency of the words, the vibration of them when they come out is different than when you're speaking in an English accent. You clearly
it's going to come
that.
out differently depending on exactly where you at. And even in the city, even in certain parts of the city, like I'm from North Philly. Mm-hmm. When I go just next door to New Jersey, people know I'm not from there because of the way I speak, the way I carry myself, the way I've been impacted by my epigenetics of being where I'm from. I can go to North Carolina tomorrow.
Right.
They will know I'm not from there. They will know I'm not from there. Because as soon as I take myself out of this petri dish that we call North Philadelphia, as soon as I take myself out of here, I'm marked. I'm impacted upon what has happened to me being in this environment. You know what I'm saying? So, and we ain't even getting to the math yet. That's what's so crazy about this shit. We ain't even getting to the math yet. But we're talking about Ma'at. So the Ma civilization, pull this up for me real quick. The Ma civilization, M-A-A civilization. See, a lot of people like, oh, y'all talking about Kemet. Why y'all all hung up on Kemet? Y'all talking about, Samaria. Why y'all hung up on Samaria? Before Kemet before Ethiopia, before Samaria, there was the Ma civilization. M-A-A, the Ma civilization. From Ma, we get Ma'at. From Ma'at, we get mathematics. So it took some serious mathematics to build some pyramids. You just don't pile a bunch of rocks up in the fucking desert, and they're perfectly aligned to true north. They're encoded with the circle and the square, the pi and the phi, the golden mean, the fingerprint of God. That's not an accident or coincidence. This took some serious mathematics, and it came from the civilization that came straight out of the Ma civilization. From the Ma, we get ancient Kemetic wisdom. We get Samaria, the Canaanites, the Ethiopian. They all came out of the Ma civilization. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I'm about to pull it up right now, but a keyword for anybody who wants to look this up would be MAA Confederation, and there's a book you can get. There's a PDF if anybody knows how to get PDFs. Get the PDF and share it with everybody. But there's a book you can get about this civilization. It's actually it's the Ma Confederation, and it's the first civilization in Africa, right? And everything came from Africa. And this, I mean, you understand that these people at Google, right, are in control of what you see, when you see it, and how you see it. And if it wasn't for these live videos right here, we would be all sorts of fucked up, because they would be in control, like I said, of what we see, how we see, and when we see it. And we wouldn't have any real, connection like this if it wasn't for these live videos. So, we really got to appreciate this connection we have right now. And, let's not take it for granted, and let's connect with as many people as we can. Like use hashtags, use locations, connect with people on locations, like schools, where, there's many melanated people there who you can connect with and educate. Like, just reach out. That's your job, is to reach out with people and educate them on knowledge of self, on where you come from, your information, the information from within. You know what I'm saying? In your genetics. You know what I mean? Right. So connect with people. Okay? This is what we need to do, because the information is lying dormant within you. And when you start to eat organic fruit, a lot of vegetables, and because most of us, I would say, aren't able to actually leave because of attachments, limitations, and limiting beliefs too. Many of us have mental limiting beliefs, and it's not even you thinking this. It's your environment that's making you think like this. But when you start to tap into, your actual genome and start to activate them, you can meditate this too. You can actually speak to your cells in your own mind and activate them through meditation. And when you start to do this, you start to actually learn. You start to actually educate yourself without external forces. You start to learn yourself you start to teach yourself. You start freaking yourself out. You're like, how did I even think about this? And you gotta believe that. I find like I gotta just speak to myself. Like when I'm walking, I just gotta talk, and it just comes out. This is where I learn the most. You know what I mean?
And that reminds me of a saying from Gil Scott Heron, who was he was an artist. He was a very prolific artist back in the day, and he said the revolution will not be televised. And what he meant by the revolution will not be televised is that the revolution first starts in your mind. It first starts in your mind. Thought.
You want to change the world, you got to change yourself, man.
Absolutely.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
Absolutely.
We're talking about the first civilization in Africa, and everything came from Africa.
So we're talking about the Ma. And this book is written by Clyde Winters. And Clyde Winters is an anthropologist, an educator, a writer. He's deep. He's deep. You know what I'm saying? Somebody asked about the Canaanites. Yes, the Canaanites, they also came from the Ma. Mm-hmm. They came from Ma Confederation. From Ma, we get Ma'at. From Ma'at, we get mathematics. So we was about to go into the super mathematics and understood how these pillars of education and higher learning started everything that we know to be great, like the study of culture, which is anthropology, the study of ourselves, which is biology, the study of the stars, which is astrology, quantum physics, the unseen seen, the what existed before existence existed. Like, think how dope you gotta be to sit there and think about what existed before existence existed. Like, think how thorough you gotta be. Like, all of this is what's lying dormant inside of our body. This is why we have to cultivate healthy DNA, because intelligence is measured by DNA. Intelligence is measured by DNA. Now, who stands to gain if we're stuck in a culture medium that all day consistently bombards ourselves with fear, with toxicity, with this programming? And you notice they call the TV programming. They say, we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. I logged in 81. I remember when TV just used to go off at night.
Yo, at school,
TV
man, you
just,
go enroll in a program. All y'all in school,
absolutely,
drop out right now. Drop
absolutely,
out right now. Your debt that you have right now could have been utilized to better your life. For real, for real. Y'all must
absolutely.
$1 trillion. You know, we can get, I think, what's the math on it real quick? If we were to fly 1 million niggas to Africa, it would cost us $650 million.
That's heavy.
But we $1 trillion in debt. Fuck you mean, dog?
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yo, let's go in debt. Everybody go in debt. You know what I mean? But you gotta be strategic about it, because debt is your friend. Because it's against the devil.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Somebody just said something in the comment. What is that they just said? Because it's like a whole paragraph. It just caught my attention.
Don't all think scientists believe in God because they be like we transformed from monkeys where they had where they had chromosomes, they had more chromosomes than us. What do you guys think? Did we come from monkeys? If we came from monkeys, why do monkeys still exist?
Yeah, there should be some human beings just running out of the jungle, just turned from monkeys.
Yo,
I mean, and we're talking about DNA now. We're going into genetics.
Back on it.
You know what I'm saying? And we was there. And thank you for asking that question. You so wisely brought into the room the next level where we wanted to go.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. Shout out to Mariah.
Absolutely. And she talked about scientists believing in God and some scientists. But I was just telling you that we have the privilege of connecting with the greatest mathematician ever on the planet, somebody who's been highly decorated. My brother, our CEO. He's even better than Einstein. Because I was gonna say he's our Einstein. He's even better than Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein couldn't carry his books. You see what I'm saying? And definitely he follows carbonation as well. I'm trying to get him to do a download live with Chief. I think that'll be like one of the most powerful presentations that you will see on carbonation when I actually make this connection. Because I speak to both of them directly. So if I could just make that happen, that shit will be such a beautiful marriage of physics and metaphysics and quantum physics in one download for y'all. Like, that should be so powerful. And that's Professor Gabriel Yibo, whose work supersedes Albert Einstein, Galileo Galilei, Carl Friedrich Gauss, David Hilbert, anybody else you can pretty much think of who's a scientist, a mathematician, a quantum physics, any of them. And one thing the professor definitely promotes is that we did not come from no damn monkeys. That's number one. And this was verified many a times by the Yale study, the Yale School of Science, the American Institute of Science, because we have what's called polymorphisms. And apes or monkeys are also polymorphic species. They're also polymorphic species, but the amount of polymorphisms that human beings have, more specifically black people, melanin dominant people have, far supersedes any other polymorphic species on the planet. That includes any other race of people, also monkeys, apes, chimpanzees, orangutans, baboons, gaboons, fucking ferrets, whatever else you want to say. So although we do share DNA, we also share DNA with fish. We also share DNA with birds. Now you're going to say people came from birds? We are animals. You got to understand what an organism
real quick. Like, it's so simple. What allows me to be who I am, what allows me to express who I am, is the same thing that allows you to express who you are. Period, man.
Hold on. Yeah, see my brother Solar in there. Woo! Solar going over your head. Woo! Solar, slow down. Solar, slow down. We ain't go that far. Slow down. So, and that's very Gagutical, because let me touch on it. And this is crazy. So what my brother Solar so wisely brought into the room is that we come from the sun, and this is so heavy right here, because a lot of people still not going to get that, but we're going to try to simplify that this evening. So the number one element on the periodic table of elements is what?
Number one?
Yes.
We got the H, man. The hydrogen.
Hydrogen. The number one element on the periodic table of elements is hydrogen.
Yes.
Hydrogen. We are in right now.
The first. The one.
The first.
Don't forget, we're talking about math still, man. We're talking about the language of God.
Yeah. Let's go. The first. We are in right now the age of what?
Aquarius.
Hydrogen is water.
Absolutely. The main molecule in water. The main molecule in which everything is made of.
The illustration of the age of Aquarius is a cup of water. The sun is 90% hydrogen. The sun is 90% hydrogen. Hydrogen.
Yep.
Atom. This is why we say atom, because we're talking about atom or atoms. In the Bible, it would say Adam, and it said Adam named all of God's existence, all of God's creations. And it also says in the ancient African cosmology that from the primordial waters came Atum, which sat atop Ta or Ptah, and called forth the rest of the aspects or expressions of the Creator. So we all came from Atum, like Atum Ra or Atum Re, aka the sun. Yo, Solar, you went too fast, Solar. I wasn't ready to go there, but he took us there. See, we got the smartest chat room on like live right now, like real rap. And just like you said, if it wasn't for these type of builds, where would we be at? We would be stuck on talking about fucking the game.
The game.
Yo, we're stuck on talking about the game right now, bro. Yo, shout out to Chorus, my brother in the room. He did a painting for me too that illustrated this. Do I have that painting? Oh man, hold on. Let me see if I got it. Hold on. Oh yeah, I got it. Atom.
Break it down. Remember, I first saw this shit. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yo, hold on. Cause look, yo, we're gonna get sidetracked. Let me come back to that. Let me come back to that. Cause I see people talking about what's the topic. We're talking about math. We're about to go into math real quick.
We're talking about information, man. We're about to activate information within you.
Information. We're about to get information, which means we're about to get in order. We're about to all get in order right now. We're
Y'all ready to go in?
All right, so all right, let's just do a soft introduction about numbers without going too far, because you know we could break down the quantum field. We could break down some field geometry, but let's just get into simple geometry when we're talking about simple arithmetic. You know what I'm saying? Simple arithmetic, simple geometry. Now, numbers, like, see, we've been indoctrinated in this system that they're teaching us things ass backwardly. You know what I'm saying? That it's very one dimensional. Like, even when you go back to, say, Roman numerals, what the hell is Roman numerals? Like, you know what a 5 is in Roman numerals? Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, it's a fucking V. How does the V mean 5? How does that mean 5? Like, did you ever think, why is a 1? Why does 1 look like 1? Why does 2 look like 2? Why do 3 look like 3? Why the fuck is 4 4? Like, what makes this 4? See, this is why, from those same geniuses that were the Ma, gave us Ma'at, and Ma'at gave us mathematics. See, they had a way to encrypt information, jam-pack information so deeply into one symbol. That symbol could be, that symbol could be applied to many different levels. Not only is it a compass to judge your social behavior and how you interact with people, how you stay balanced in a relationship, but it also dealt with arithmetic. Like, it's the hieroglyphic, the herodic, and the demotic. So the hieroglyphic, we can apply that to a social. Then the herodic, we can apply that to a documentation, a mathematics. Then the demotic, we can actually apply to science, scientifically. Like when we talk about homeostasis in the body and maintaining pH, which is balance, which is ma'at. Like we talk about field geometry and we talk about vortex mathematics and how everything is going to come together and the energy moves a certain way. And you can't stop it. This is balance. This is ma'at. So there's more than one application. There's several applications. And they thought on a very high level. And the reason why they were able to do this is they cultivated healthy DNA. They didn't have the diseases that we had. They didn't have the broken bones and osteoporosis and that. They didn't have that we have. They didn't have soda? You know what I mean? They didn't have, like, it was just something that they didn't do because they understood the importance of cultivating healthy DNA. You see what I'm saying? So in order for us to get back vibrating on this level, first we got to maintain our DNA because DNA measures our intelligence. Our intelligence is measured by our DNA, our DNA. So
the
just
expression,
like
the expression of the DNA, the articulation of what is.
Absolutely. Oh, and to make that connection, because we were talking about how do we know our DNA is from those people? How do we know that DNA is what's in our inherited epigenetics? And in all of Egyptology and all of the major movie productions, they always illustrate these ancient Africans, these Egyptians, as white people. They always have. You go to the movies right now, look at the last movie, The Gods of Egypt. They were all white. And that's done for a reason. Imagery directly attacks your subconscious mind, and it's embedded inside of you. So a lot of people believe that these geniuses from our past were white people. And through inherited epigenetics, they handed down those traits to white people. So somebody who looks like me is not encouraged to be intelligent, to be a genius. Genes. Genes. So this is why when they come to neighborhoods with black people, they're looking for scandal. They're looking for some type of violence. This is why when it's movies with black people in it, you're supposed to be a criminal, you're supposed to be a thug, or you're supposed to be a janitor, or you're supposed to be, you're not supposed to be the genius. This is why we even act these. We're acting. We are acting. Like I made this reference a lot of times. Malcolm X. Malcolm X was called Malcolm Little at one time before he became Malcolm X. Now, when he was Malcolm Little, he was selling drugs. He was using drugs. He was shooting motherfuckers. He was doing all type of crime. He was in jail. but then he actually learned some information about himself, and that raised his vibration to transform him to the person that we now know as Malcolm X. You see what I'm saying? So that potential energy is always there. To make it kinetic takes thought.
Right. And on that, kinetic energy is potential energy, but in movement, correct?
Absolutely.
And we understand that melanin, right? Melanin is the same thing that makes the sky black, is the same thing that makes your skin black, right? The same thing that makes the middle of your eye black is the same thing that makes your skin black, right? The correlation between us and the universe is insane. Like, we have 100 billion neurons in our brain, and there are 100 billion stars in a galaxy. We're walking galaxies as we are walking solar systems, right? But what I was going to say on that is our melanin. It's very, very powerful. It's a superconductor for energy, okay? And what we do is anything that we touch, essentially, we turn to gold, right? Everything we do, we're the best mathematicians. We're the best basketball. We're the best athlete, period. We're the best scientists, right? And everything that we do, we're the best at because of our polymorphism count and the melanin. Right?
Even the worst shit we do, we the best at doing the worst shit. Even the worst.
And we're melanated for ignorance, and that's what Carbonation says in their song, Negropean. You know what I mean? Yeah. Melanated for ignorance. I think they say it in the beginning. But
that's a fact.
But where I was going with this is the culture, right? Whatever your culture is, whatever sustains the culture, what sustains the culture is very important, right? Because that will determine the outcome. Correct? What sustains this culture that we're currently enrolled in, right? We can always unenroll. What we're enrolled in right now is being perpetuated through ignorance. Like, ignorance is a luxury in this culture. Ignorance is a luxury in this culture. Think about that for a second, man.
Yeah.
Being ignorant is you're benefited. Like, if you don't work, you get paid from whatever welfare. Like, you get benefits for being a lazy ass motherfucker. And
yes, sir.
Furthermore, we seriously need to do a culture audit. You know what I mean? And like do a quick, like an in-depth audit. The children are always going to be the future. And this is why I always say, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about we. And we will always be our children.
A lot of us don't understand who we are. A lot of us don't understand who we are.
We are the, like, we is me. Upside down, literally. Because it's crazy, man. Because in order to change the world, you gotta change yourself. Because when you raise your consciousness as an individual, you raise the consciousness as a collective.
And that goes back to that experiment we was talking about with those islands, and they had the monkeys and
right.
Yo, hold on. So let me show you something real quick, because we're gonna get far off topic, dog. Because we could go. All right. So just like I was saying, these great mathematicians, this is in our DNA, and you know this because of, let's go over a couple things mathematically. So we're talking about Roman numerals right here. So that's 1, that's 5. Why the hell is 5 just a V? Why is 10 just an X? Like, how does that relate to anything?
iPhone 10 is iPhone X.
Absolutely. How is the L? How is the 100C? Like, how is that? Like, what sense does that make? You know what I'm saying? So when we get into the Egyptian, right? And y'all correct me if I get off a little bit from where I will, because this is off top. So the 1, right, was an ancient, an elder's walking stick. 10 was a heel bone, a bone. So if we count in tens, let's say 20, 30, 40, right? 50. These are heel bones. So it's 2, 30 is 3, 40 is 4, 50 is 5 heel bones. All right. So 100 would be a coiled up piece of rope. So this is counting in 100s. And we can go all the way 2, 3, 4, 500. So those are all coiled pieces of rope. You see what I'm saying? I put 4,000. These are all coiled pieces of rope. So that'll be 2 coiled pieces of rope. This will be 3 coiled pieces of rope. This will be 4 coiled pieces of rope. This will be 5 coiled pieces of rope. Now, when we go into higher numbers, then we're going to go like, okay, 1,000, right? 1,000 was illustrated by a lotus blossom, and they drew us something like this. And the lotus on top looked kind of like, it looked like Pac-Man. It looked just like Pac-Man. Like, that's crazy. So this was things that were seen in nature. These were things that were part of their environment. You see what I'm saying? So now this being demotic, this being hieroglyphic, and from hieroglyphic to heraldic to demotic. So what happened was people like the Romans, the Greeks, it was hard for them to interpret this because this wasn't a part of their life. This wasn't a part of their environment. So what they did was, having a Ma'atian principle, they understood that Ma'at was an angel, and angel are angles. Angels are angles. So they developed another number system in Phoenician, and Phoenician did it like this. This is the same number system that we're using today. You ever wonder why this is shaped the way it is? Like, why is a 3 shaped the way it is? Why is a 5 shaped the way it is? Why is a 7? Why are these numbers? This base 10. See, a lot of times we start counting, we start at 1. We're really supposed to start at 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are 10. That's the base 10. The language of the angles. That's right. Angles are angels. The angles, right, are angels. And I'm about to show you something if you ain't know. So the angles are angels. My brother Duncan skipping. Oh, I might gotta kick you out and bring you back in, Dunk. Let me know. The angles are angels. So 1 is shaped that way because 1 actually used to, because it has 1 angle. See that? Oh yeah, he gonna come back in. Then 2 is written like this because the 2 is 2 angles. That's right. Geometry. This is geometry. The angles. Let's go. So this is 2. 3 was written like this because 1, 2, 3 angles. 4 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. And 5, oh, look at this 5. Oh, man.
What?
One, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles. Yeah, it used to be an uncle on the top.
That's
They took
swagged
that
out.
off.
That's swagged out.
Yeah, they took that off. They didn't want you to make the connection.
They
You know what
removed
I'm
the
saying?
feminine from it, eh?
Yeah, and it's also in the middle. It's directly in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 angles. See what I'm saying? 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 angles.
And there's actually multiple ways to do these letters or numbers too.
Eight is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 angles. See what I'm saying? The 9. I know you like, how this nigga gonna do this? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 angles. So in the middle is balance. That's why the Ankh is there, because that's life. It's balance. Then 0 has 0 angles.
That's the sun right there.
Zero angles. So this is our base 10.
Yeah, flip the 9, make it a G.
Listen, Corby on point
flip
too.
The 9,
that's
make
crazy.
it a G, dog. Dang.
Yeah, that's
around
crazy.
With that, yo.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So to understand that, the actual creators of mathematics, of numbers, that DNA resides inside of your body. Why would you want to contaminate that? You want to bring that out. The etymology of the word educate is educar. Educare means to bring out that is within. So by damaging our DNA, by remaining in these toxic environments, by having these toxic thoughts, by subjecting ourselves to this programming, we gotta understand that this is what's holding us back. We're suffering because of our ignorance. You know what I'm saying? We suffer because of our ignorance. But nobody wants us to know that. The creators of language, the creators of arithmetic, the creators of everything that we hold dear right now today, they look like you and they look like me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we can go into that. We can go into that. I got, hold on. Because I'm going to have to draw a fresh, but, oh, man.
That 9, though, man, that 9. Do you notice how the 6 and the 3 are not connected?
Yeah, and they interchange. You see, they flip.
Yep. That's the polarity. That's like when you have sex. It's like, I don't know who taught me this. I think it was Kodo. He's like 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6. Everything's like that.
Yeah.
Pop! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything's like that.
Yeah.
But then when you go up, but it all comes from the top, the G. You know what I mean? But it actually all comes from nothing, which is 0.
Everything is nothing. That's right.
Right?
Everything
so
is.
You can't get it twisted like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything comes from nothing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Everything comes from the possibility. That's why you must have faith with action.
Hold on. Let me check. All right. So, he said, show it again. Man, you can just go back and watch it. That's my brother Pablo. Yeah, see, everything really comes from 0. Everything really comes from 0, from no thing. The no thing is the none. The none, the primordial source from which everything comes from. You know what I'm saying? That big G. That big G. That's what Gagut is. That big G. That G-I-J, comma, J equals 0. How can everything be equal to no thing? That's what an equal sign is. Parallel, 2 parallel lines, meaning this is parallel to that. Everything is nothing. No thing. The none. So the G is the aggregate. The aggregate. The I is the inspiration, the thought. That first thought, that potential turned kinetic. And from that potential turned kinetic came atom. Came atom, that first J. Then the comma is space and time. Atom, that's right. Atom came from none. Oh my goodness. Solar, I wasn't trying to go there. Hold on, let me show you. Because I got this illustrated a little bit better with some help from my brother Core. Because I was going to create one just now, but I got one right here in color. Okay. So in the beginning, anything and everything that existed was in the primordial water of none. From that water of none came atom. As atom rose, it sat atop of ta or pata. Then atom called everything into existence. All the expressions, the extensions of the creative source which everything came from, which was that inspiration, that thought, that potential turned kinetic energy. That atom is atom ra. Atom ra, the unseen energy and power of the sun. That big H, that hydrogen. See, our cells sit inside of hydrogen. The cytoplasm, the culture medium for each cell in your body it sits in cytoplasm, which is based in hydrogen. Hydrogen, trillions of cells that run your body, trillions of you. See, when they say, oh, the body is made of 70% water or 80% water, whatever the percentage of water you want to think, what do you think that means? That you have a pocket of water that's just in your body somewhere chilling? No, that shit don't exist. They're talking about every single cell in your body, the cytoplasm that makes up the trillions of cells that make up our individual organism. This is based in hydrogen. So even when hydrogen is the first element on the periodic table of elements. The periodic table of elements comes from chemistry. We get chemistry from chemet. Chem meaning black, mystery meaning magic. So anything that involves cells came from chemistry, which came from chemet. So we're talking history, that's chemet, because that's the interaction of two organisms, two or more organisms through each other. This is the math. Then we're talking psychology, sociology, like anything you talk about that has anything to do with organisms having cells, this is coming from chemistry. They're the ones who knew it the best, the Kemetic legacy. And the people from Kemet came from the Ma civilization. The Ma civilization gave birth, so understand inside of our bodies, inside of our DNA, we have so much. Like, we have everything. Like, we have the mind of God, literally. Like, it's potential.
And on that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding that, like, we created everything. We literally created everything that is in this reality right now with our own mind. But as melanated people, we created the traffic light. We created
helicopters.
We created every instrument. Damn near every instrument. The concept of every instrument. We created music. Look at hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta understand that we are potential energy. We are seeds. You know what I mean? In the middle of the fruit is the seed in most fruits, and that is potential. That's potential to be a mango tree, right? Everything is just potential energy, and you need to nurse and nurture and appropriately cultivate that seed, so we got to really take it seriously when we're talking about genetics, when we're talking about environment, the people who are around, right? The food we eat. This is what we're talking about at the end of the day, right? But we are talking about math, which is the language of God, which is the words we speak. You know what I mean? It's just everything is math at the end of the day.
And look, Solar just asked a very important question. What will we do with this knowledge, and how long until you live this knowledge?
We are living our knowledge right now.
Oh, we got some plans. I
No,
can't
no,
even tell you
you're
right
always
now.
living your knowledge. You're always
I
living
can't
your
even tell
knowledge.
you right
As long
now.
as you're applying it, you're living your knowledge. That is correct.
I can't even tell you right now. Like you already know, I stay planning some shit. Like we got some shit brewing right now. Please believe. And it's so crazy though. Like think about how thorough it is for us to be alive in this space and time right now. Think about like yo, it's a lot of people that's never gonna never ever like they're never gonna reach like they just stuck where they at and they're very complacent with where they at.
But don't forget, man. Don't forget about the whole. Like if it wasn't for those ignorant people, we wouldn't have anything to compare ourselves to call ourselves superior. You
Yo,
see what I'm saying?
yo,
You
that's
see what I'm saying
heavy.
though?
That's heavy. That's heavy right there. I mean, yeah, yeah, joy and pain like sunshine and rain. What would be a cloudy day if it wasn't a sunny day? Like you know, what would be the night if it wasn't for the dark? I mean, what would be
You
the
see what I
day if
mean?
it wasn't for the
And
dark?
we and the fact that we have this understanding shows that we are the opposition of something, of a possibility.
Yeah. I
You know what
think
I mean?
Solar just double dared us real quick though. I think he's playing the antagonist right here. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him because sometimes people need a push. You know what I mean? Sometimes people need a
Absolutely.
push. You know what I'm saying? But I don't need to push. I mean, I don't know. I might need to push every now and then. So it's all good. I understand. I understand. And
God Almighty. God, don't forget we proved the existence of God.
yeah,
Right?
I
And
mean,
we do
it
understand that in the Bible.
redefines
Don't forget in the
it
Bible it says
redefines it kind of redefines what the populace is of what God is. And I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and they kept trying to put God as something that only exists outside of us. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, but I got to remember, people are still stuck on the central dogma. Excuse me, the central dogma that says God is, a being that's in the clouds somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's very frustrating, man. It's
now,
very
brother,
frustrating.
now, brother, we can always question. There will never ever in the existence of existence will there not lie a question. Correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah.
we say the waters anew rose Atum. From Atum
hmm
came Ra. But where did the waters come from?
Well, when we talk about the waters, um, the waters of none, that's where you get none from. And it's Solar, you definitely right. I got you right. You right. That's my light. That's my weakness. You know what I'm saying? That's my weakness. And I feel like when I actually just buckle down on it, it'll help me out tremendously. I know it will.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
astrology.
saying?
When we're talking about math too, we're talking about astrology, like I was saying.
Yeah.
Because I asked
We
you,
was
I
just
remember asking
talking
you one
about
time, I
that
was like,
shit.
"What do you think
We
about
was just
astrology?" And
talking
you said
about that shit.
astrology is math,
We was just talking about that shit, man.
right?
I'm good on certain parts of it, but my personal chart, I'm not that good on it, man.
I can
I
I can
gotta get
definitely
on
go
it.
in on astrology. I've been studying that shit like heavy. Not even a
Yeah,
joke. You
I
know what I
gotta get
mean?
on it. Solar ringer. Solar ringer.
Absolutely. He connected, man. He's definitely plugged into some shit, man. But
Solar
you know,
Solar's a ringer. He's a ringer. He's a ringer. And that's why in the Bible is the way that it reads. It said that in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth was without form and empty, and darkness hovered over the waters. So in the beginning was the waters, and it's the
Scorpio.
quantum field. It's where anything and everything exists at. You know what I'm saying? It's the subatomic. It's before atom. It's before atom rise. Before that, this is what existed before existence existed. You know what I mean? And this is even in movies too. You know what I'm saying?
Scorpio first house.
Yeah.
Yeah, astrology is math. You know, but then again, are you just going to accept what has been given to you from your oppressor? Because look at the Bible, it's been tainted. Don't you think astrology has been tainted? Did you map out the stars?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not mapping out the stars, can you really believe? I understand how accurate it is. It is very accurate, but there's still I have this feeling that there's still some missing pieces. The fact
We
that
can make it better. We can make it better. Like,
absolutely, because everything we touch turns
that's why
black.
we gotta. That's why
Everything
we
we
gotta
touch turns
really.
black.
That's why we gotta really start. You know, encouraging deep conversation. We gotta have in deep thought. Kind of like we gotta encourage this wave. Like it's the return of the nerds out this joint. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So you know, this is just part one. We could get back tomorrow and we could touch on to that quantum field and field geometry, and we could take part two. Like we can go deep with part two, but just to set it up and understand that, you know, this is something that's ours. This is something that we've inherited, and people are trying to steal our inheritance, like Pythagoras, the Pythagorean theorem, all of the goddamn academia that we go to. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's all like, it's something that we're reclaiming right now. You know what I'm saying? Just like my brother Solar in the room, in Carbonation, my brother Duncan, my brother Core, we're reclaiming these sciences. Like, these are really ours. We're the real teachers of this anyway. We're supposed to be the leaders teaching everybody. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get back into that. We're not encouraging nobody to be ignorant. We've been so intellectually starved that it's cool now. It's acceptable. It's like a luxury. You see what I'm saying? So we're about to get it in, and tune in tomorrow. We'll probably go in for part two. And Solo, I hope you're in the building, man. I want to see you there if you're available. Definitely come through. I'm going to make a preemptive post like I do every time we're going to go in. And if you got anything to say, Duncan, go ahead and spit your John. And,
Yeah, I want
peace
to
out.
emphasize culture, man. Like, obviously, those who have tapped into their higher self understand the ignorance of this culture. You know what I mean? And it's important that we share that with those who don't understand, because, like I said earlier, they if you don't know who they are, go to the Gagutian YouTube channel. We broke that down, who they are, and who they are. They are in control of what you see, how you see it, and when you see it. And if it wasn't for these live videos, we would be very, very lost. Even myself, even Fi here, you know, if we didn't have these live videos to, you know, exchange those energies. Like, if I never met you, I wouldn't know half the shit I know, you know? But
And we got to tap in. We got to tap in and form this network. We got to stay networking. You know what I'm saying?
Each one reach many. But what I wanted to show was a video I want everybody to watch. You sent it to me. I'm just looking for it right now. But at the end of the day, it's culture, man. And our culture, right? The culture that the original African culture was perpetuated on intelligence. It was measured by how intelligent the culture was. And as is all cultures, like, look at the United States of America in comparison to, let's say, Afghanistan. America has bigger guns, therefore they're superior because they're more intelligent. They have higher advancements. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to us, what have we developed in Africa? What has Africa developed? Truly, it's developed everything because we've given the resources to whomever to develop their, you know, their articulation of natural resources, right?
Yeah,
so we need to start cultivating our resources and start developing something, understanding that we are the most intelligent beings on the earth, right?
Yeah. And Solar made a good point too, to tap into Carbonation. Definitely tap into Chief. He had a crazy build the other day.
Crazy. They're all crazy.
The other day, like crazy.
And crazy, crazy is a word you use to define something. You have no other words to use to define something.
Yeah, something. And that's what we do. We so dynamic. Like, something like we'll take something and say, "Oh, that's bad," but we don't mean it's bad. We mean it's so good that it now done went full circle to being bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shit crazy. That shit, yeah. How thorough is that? That's heavy. And yeah, Solo had a good joint the other day too. Solo grown a lot. Like he used to be a lot more quiet. Now Solo ain't quiet at all. He ain't quiet at all. And Carbonation definitely is walking, breathing, talking, rapping, and singing Gaga.
Absolutely.
Those big facts right there. But my brother Solo, he grown a lot. He used to be real quiet. And now he's like, he professing every day. Like every chance he gets, Solo is like, that's my man. But go ahead, hit us with that video real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna share it next live. I don't have it here. It's not in my messages, so I'll have to find it.
All right, well, we'll be right back. We'll be right back at you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Peace to everybody that's in the room. You know what I'm saying? Peace to the gods on earth. And we'll talk black to y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Peace and love, everybody.